Last time I showed you how to make this really simple log reindeer. A quick project to make, but it can be quite awkward trying to source the logs. So this time round, I thought I'd show you how to make a reindeer using some plywood scraps instead. This one actually goes together with some simple slots, which means it's quick to put together, but you can also take it apart again and store it nice and flat throughout the rest of the year. So the first thing we've got to do with this plywood reindeer is actually get the plywood and draw on the designs. Now I'm using a scrap piece of 18mm plywood. If you make stuff or you're into your DIY, chances are you've probably got bits of plywood in your shed. But if not, don't worry, it's worth going to your local hardware store because they do often have some offcuts by their saw. So it's worth checking. If you can pick some up for free, job's a good one. I kept the design to my reindeer really simple. I literally sketched out a side profile to the body, a couple of pair of legs, and the antlers as well. Now you could get really precise with this, you could print out some proper templates and get it all nice and accurate, but where's the fun in that? I'll just go with a simple sketch. It hasn't got to be perfect, just as long as it looks right to you. I cut the pieces out using a jigsaw, and I kind of cheated a little bit because when I cut out the first pair of legs, I then traced round it to get my second pair. I did the same for the antlers as well, a quick sketch out. They kind of look like antlers to me at least, and I cut it out with a jigsaw. This is a little bit more awkward. If you're struggling to hold the plywood in place, try adding a clamp to your work surface and it'll stop things moving around on you. So we got the body cut, we got the two pairs of legs cut, and we got the antlers cut as well. Now we need to figure out how we're going to slot them together. To mark out the slot, I just used an off-cut piece of the same 18mm plywood because we need the slots to be as wide as the plywood is thick. When it came to how deep the slots needed to be, I just went by eye. Again, it hasn't got to be perfect, but ideally you want to aim for halfway between the body, halfway between the legs, halfway between the head and the antlers, and so on. I did make some little marks on my scrap piece so I could have the same size slots for both legs and the same size slot in the head and the antlers as well. With the slots marked in place, it's just a case of cutting them out. And again, I used the jigsaw for this. It's worth checking with your scrap piece to make sure that the pieces will actually fit into the slot as well. Nothing worse than cutting all the slots out and then finding out one's just a little bit too narrow. So we got all the pieces cut out now and we got the slots sorted as well for how it's going to go together. After some light sanding, it's time for paint and decoration. Now I think this is the ideal time to get the kids involved. They'd absolutely love painting all kinds of designs on it. I kept it really simple. I'm not very artistic, I don't mind telling you. So I just went with a nice reddish brown colour for the body and the legs. Went for a darker brown with the antlers, and of course you've got to have Rudolph's red nose, haven't you? And once the paint's dry, that's the plywood reindeer done. You can slot the pieces back together and it makes a fantastic Christmas decoration. And as I say, I think one of the best things about this is because it goes together just using slots, you can take the pieces apart and store it nice and flat throughout the rest of the year. I really do hope you like this one, and I hope you give it a go for yourself as well. Like I say, last time round, I showed you how to make a reindeer using some logs. You can check out a link to that video in the description down below. It's a really quick one to do if you can find the logs. So if you are struggling finding some logs, I hope that you'll give this one a go instead. I think it looks really nice and, as I mentioned, a great one to get the kids involved with as well. I can see I'm having a lot of fun painting and decorating this. If you did like it, please make sure you click that like button, and if you haven't subscribed to On a Budget already, make sure you click the subscribe button and the little bell icon next to it as well. That way you'll get a notification as soon as we upload a new video. Thank you all for watching.